We'll get into previewing the new season shortly, but it's been about 2 months since our last pod, and there's been a few things in the news that people have been waiting for you guys to talk about. I guess the first thing that we'll chat about is maybe Danny Cipriani. What do you guys make of that situation?
I was out with him the weekend before. Best mates. Yeah.
Where?
Took me out to a pitch and putt thing. Him and his missus, Max Evans and his missus, and me on my own.
But you didn't take your missus?
No, didn't know.
You're horrible. You're horrible to your missus.
So I like him. I like the bloke. But from what I'm hearing, I'm on a Gloucester WhatsApp chat of the old boys. It was nothing of nothing. Just blown out of proportion.
It is blown out of proportion, and it isn't as well, really. The cold light of day, what was his charge? He's been assaulting a police officer, a female police officer.
Why?
Well, from what I heard, and you're always going to get mixed stories. Danny Cipriani, the rugby player, is an unbelievable rugby player. Bottom line, he's the best attacking 10 in the Premiership, England's best attacking 10 on the front foot, and he's a pleasure to watch at times, isn't he? But that's the facts of it. The flip side of it is, Wasps didn't offer him a new contract. He has been divisive in certain environments. He's sometimes, as Jim said, he's a brilliant bloke. Other times he does rub people up the wrong way. You can't get away from that. And whether it's true or not, I don't know. Bouncer stopped him. Bouncer's got the security camera on him. He's tried to grab the security camera. He's like, no, you ain't recording me or whatever. Police come, resists arrest. Eventually they get him on the floor and a scuffle or whatever happens. And it was, in terms of actual damage to people, nothing. Not nothing, but there's no punches thrown or people broken. I think the police officer did have some minor injuries, but nothing like a fractured cheekbone or anything. So I'm not blown up to be that. But also as a professional rugby player, with he does enjoy the limelight. You have to take the rough with the smooth. And has he made a mistake? Yes. Has he apologised for it? Yes. Has he gone through court and has got a record now, whatever it is, and he's taken a fine? Yes. You listen to the comment, and one of the quotes that he said was, "Loosen the cuffs. These wrists are like gold." You're not dealing with.
You were out with him the night before, weren't you?
But you're not dealing with someone humble that is.
Well, he's talking the truth, isn't he? Like he
sounds like
the current England 10.
So you can see why it splits opinion. You really can. And as a rugby player, judging him what you see on a Saturday or a Sunday or a Friday, whatever day he plays, he's been phenomenal over the last couple of years at times. He's had bad games. I heard a story from the Wasp boys, and you have to take things with a pinch of salt, but when he had an awful game a couple of years ago against Leinster in the quarter-final, I think it was, of the Champions Cup, and Wasp dropped him for some of the games the next few weeks, which, sometimes you have to even drop your best players to get the best out of them, don't you?
Oh, we did. We did used to get dropped, yeah.
Or Jim just never got picked. But he was going around the Wasp changing room saying, LeBron James doesn't get dropped for the Cavs, does he?
True.
And when you hear those things, you're like, there's a bloke there that divides opinion, because some people will go, love his confidence, love his that borderline arrogance, and that's what makes him great. Others will go, well, you shouldn't be saying that. So it does divide opinion, and that's part of Mavericks and part of players that you want to watch is that divisive opinion.
I didn't actually hear that story though that you told me.
Which story?
It's amazing, isn't it, how whispers go around.
Yeah. But who knows what actually happened?
Yeah.
Ultimately, is it as bad as people have made out with all the press around it?
You've made it out to be pretty bad. That sounds pretty bad. Like, if that's what actually happened.
Yeah. But that's the thing with Chinese whispers and what happened. No, who knows? There's no CCTV footage come out of what actually happened.
Where's his copper's camera? That's what I want to know.
But there's reports, and then apparently his lawyer said something along the lines of, the reason he grabbed the bouncer's camera and all this stuff was because of the limelight that he lives in. People trying to take pictures of him.
I get it. I get that. I get it.
So it goes both ways.
Do you think he should have been charged by the RFU as well as Gloucester?
Going on Goode's story, then yes. Like,
don't blame me.
Mate, yeah, well, if that's what you've heard happen, I heard something completely different.
What did you hear?
I just heard that one of the boys couldn't get into the club. He's gone to the door, steaming to see if he can get him in. Willie Hines, and they've said no, and there was a bit of a conversation had. And yeah, there was a minor scuffle, and then as they've gone to put cuffs on him, he's made that comment about his wrist being made of gold, and kind of just pushed them away, and that's where the assault charge comes in.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't hear that he was basically.
He's pleaded guilty.
Well,
The thing is, he's pleaded guilty for something, hasn't he? So
like you said, he's been tasered on the floor, and
I
like
didn't say he's been tasered.
he's had CS gas. But if what Goody's saying is right, then you can see why. You can see why it's not a nothing thing. Obviously, he didn't get fined by them in the end, and Gloucester fined him. So I don't know. Give Gloucester a bit of profile anyway.
There's no right or wrong answer here. One person's opinion. The RFU were silly to get involved after Gloucester and the court had done something. Another person would say, of course he represents England. They've got standards to uphold, and they're just going through the due diligence process of what they should and shouldn't do. So there's no right or wrong answer to this. The fact is, Danny Cipriani wishes it never happened. So it's only him that's accountable, really.